Afternoon, everybody. Earlier today, I took a trip through my hives, did some hive inspections, and I noted that one or two of my hives has started crashing a bit from a heavy mite load. Telltale signs like very, very spotty brood pattern. Um, just not to mention supersedure cell, a queen that's laying, but used to be laying very, very well. Used to be a very, very healthy colony, and now getting spotty, indicates that we do have a little bit of a mite problem. The supersedure cell indicates that that's the hive itself trying to solve a problem. So what I ended up doing was I split that hive out. I left the supersedure cell frame along with 4 other frames, and then I moved the queen and some other frames into a nucleus colony. Then I went through all my other hives, and I should also note that I installed apivar strips. I also went through all my hives and I installed my clearing boards in all my hives to get rid of my honey supers. We're done for the year. They're not bringing in much honey anymore, and they're starting to consume some. And even though they don't have, most of the other stuff capped, I'm pulling it off and allowing them to store what they're bringing in into the brood nest. That's going to be their winter feed. That's what I want. I want them to start developing a nice brood nest, start storing the honey down below, start developing their winter bees. But they have to be healthy. So I installed apivar strips. I'm going to give them doses of oxalic acid tonight. I'm going to put a cap over the hole for the clearing board, just for while I do the oxalic acid treatment. I'll just put a little square, just so the fumes don't go up into the honey. But I'm going to treat those hives tonight just to knock back the mite load a little bit. So I also have another split that I did last week with a queen with 1 super on, or with just one deep. And what I'm going to do, I have this hive here, and I had 2 brood boxes on it. I installed 2 brood boxes because I was going to use the second brood box for splits for grafted cells. Well, that plan did not go as I had hoped, and so I did not need this brood in this box for those grafted cells. So I ended up leaving this brood box on this hive. Well, they have developed a lot of brood in here, but they also store a lot of honey in here too, which means they didn't store a lot of honey up in my supers. I only get 1 or 2 supers a year off of a hive. Every once in a while I get one of my super hives that gives me 5, 6 supers full of honey, but for the most part, a super and a half or 2 supers of honey is about all I can get off of one hive. That's just the way it is around here. But regardless, earlier today I pulled these 2 supers out, put the clearing board on, but before I did that, I took the brood box, I shook all the bees down into the lower box, put a queen excluder on, and then put the brood box back on. And this is about 3 or 4 hours ago. And then I'm going to allow the nurse bees to come back up, cover the brood, and now we're going back in, and I'm going to take off this brood box. I'll bring it over on the table behind me and split these 8 frames, because I have 8 frames plus a 2-frame feeder in there, over those 2 boxes, nuke boxes behind me. And the reason I'm doing it right there is that all the field force bees, when I'm starting to do the split, will fly back to this colony. And then I'll just bring the boxes over, set some newspaper down, and combine the hives. And then I'll have 2 powerful nucleus hives ready to go, and they can bring in stores for winter, and away they go. So, and then the rest of the bees will be in here and allow this queen and this box to flourish. So that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to take off the supers and the clearing board for now, and then pull off this box. This is a really powerful colony. This is a queen from last year. Homegrown queen. Actually, no, this is a, I produced this queen probably in July of last year from New River honeybee queen and mated in my yard. It was a virgin I got from a breeder queen from my beekeeping club. Excellent queen, excellent. Man, it cleared out already a bunch of bees. Huh. Okie dokie. This is very heavy. Ugh. Okay. There's no need for the queen excluder anymore. But look at all those bees on that clearing board that went through. Okay, now the field force will fly back. Now the field force from that box behind me will fly back to this colony while I'm doing my split, and I'll have nothing left but nurse bees covering those frames over there. So let's go take a look. Okay. Alrighty. Honestly, I don't need a lot of these frames here. So what we're going to try to do is evenly divide brood frames and honey frames, or pollen frames if there is any, but I doubt there's any pollen up top here. So this is a complete honey frame. So we'll stick this on the outside. That's a big honey frame there. We'll stick this on the outside. All I can do is pray that I got the queen out of here. But this is a brood frame. Everything's filled in. give this one. Nah, give this one to this hive. This just got more bees in it. Okay. That's a honey and brood frame there. I think that one's going to go in here. This one's got completely capped brood and larvae and everything else that I want in here. So that's good. And actually what we're going to do, I'm going to put this in the middle. Now all you can do is seriously is hope that you installed you shook the bees out properly, and that there that there are no there's no queen in this hive at all, because you could be in real trouble. If you did leave the queen here. And my field force isn't going over there. I can see none of the bees are really okay. Hey. Oh. Okay. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Good. Okay. That one is done. These nukes are already plenty heavy to survive a good winter. The one thing I need to do yet. Okay. Good. Well, that ought to give them the boost that they need to survive winter. Provide a little bit of relief to that colony so that they don't swarm post honey flow. And that, as they say, is that.